So these are two Nigerian companies, very prominent companies, Zenith Bank and GTCO. GTCO used to be called Guaranty Trust Bank, but of course they expanded over the years and became GTCO. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how I got them to be side by side like this, why we do it, and their importance generally. Welcome to another video where I teach you something new about investing in Nigerian stocks and how you can actually maximize your profit. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how to compare stocks and why we compare them. Also, the platforms that we use to compare these stocks. If I am comparing GTCO, to Zenith Bank right now, these are some of the key things I would look at. You have your effective yield, you have your, risk return ratio, year over year return, and of course, you come to financial fundamentals, which is basically your key fundamental information about that stock. You see the free float, you also see the profit margin, and of course you see the return on asset and return on equity. I've made a video about return on assets in the past, if you guys remember, so I'm not going to be talking about what it is here, but if you look closely, you would see that the return on asset for GTCO is more than the return of asset for Zenith. So this is how I got here. You want to go back to the homepage of this website. This website is called accesswhat.com. Accesswhat is basically used to analyze Nigerian stocks, get more information about the Nigerian stock market and so many things. But we're not going to be looking at Accesswhat alone. We're going to be looking at other platforms in this video. Other platforms you can use to compare Nigerian stocks. There are not so many platforms out there that let you compare Nigerian stocks, but Accesswhat is one of them. So when you're on the platform, you can search for any stock. Here I want to search for Zenith. Search for Zenith. Now when it opens up, you want to come to quick options and click on compare with other asset. Then you select the asset you want to compare it with. If it's GTCO, if it's Aradale, let's do Aradale. Click on it. What it does is it pulls up both stocks side by side. It shows you what they've been looking like on chart lately, and if you scroll down, you see the rest of the key information like your free float, revenue, net profit, and co. So that's pretty much it. So this is how you basically compare Nigerian stocks with Accesswhat. I'm going to leave the link to this platform under the description of this video. Feel free to use the link to sign up and start using it. Now let's move to the next platform you can use to compare Nigerian stocks before you finally decide on the stock to buy. The next one is your TradingView. TradingView has a Nigerian stocks overview page that pretty much gives you information about Nigerian stocks. So I already have that here. I'm also going to leave the link in the description. When you come down this page, you will learn a lot about the Nigerian stock market, how it's behaving or performing daily, upcoming earnings as well, and of course the stocks that are trading at an unusual volume. You see everything here. And when you come down, you also see ideas and people just, talking about GTCO and other stocks, the dates they posted their article and their technical reviews on it. Also community trends generally, top gainers, top losers. You see all of that here. You can also come to these filters where you see the ones that have the largest employers, the ones that are overbought, oversold. You can use these to check. But what we want to do here is, again, compare stocks. So I'm going to pick one stock, just super random. Let's take MTN. So when the MTN page opens up, what you want to do is click on the full chart. You can click here for the full chart. And when it opens up the full chart, what you want to do is come to this plus icon. You click on compare symbols and to ask you, what are the stocks you'd like to compare. And then on this page, when it loads up, you can pretty much compare the stocks or select the stocks you'd like to compare. For some reason, it's taking its time to load. So let's go back and click on it again. The reason it's taking its time to load might also be because I'm using an ad blocker, that blocks adverts on a web page. So I'm going to disable my ad blocker and then reload the page. Okay, I just reloaded the page. I'm going to come back to this plus icon, click on it. Now it's loaded. So I want to compare, say, Zenith. So what that does is, as you can see here, we now have MTN Nigeria and we have Zenith on one chart. If you look closely, you would actually see my fundamental plotting information that I had added in the past. But beyond that, if we pull down, let me pull down a bit. Okay, now it's very, very distinct to a very huge extent. So in terms of growth generally, you would actually see that MTN is right up here. Let me delete Zenith. Again, you see MTN is right up here. And then if we're going to add Zenith back, we just click on this, then click on it, then close this. Okay, it's loaded. This is Zenith. Zenith is the blue line you see here. Zenith did actually go up, but if you're comparing both stocks on the chart, you would actually notice that, of course, MTN in terms of performance has outperformed Zenith in recent times. Now, you probably want more information in terms of just comparison and, data generally. That is the part where you now have to, apply some of your indicators to get more information on that. But if you'd like to compare normally how the growth has been like over time, this is what you're going to get in a sense. So that is how to use TradingView to compare Nigerian stocks. The next one is your Cowrywise. As you guys already know, or some of you might know already, Cowrywise very recently, rolled out a feature that lets you compare two different stocks, and I want to show you how to do that. While I'm doing that, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I make videos about investing, and you're going to learn a lot if you subscribe. So this is Cowrywise. What you want to do is come to invest. So click on NG stocks here, click on Nigerian stocks, and then select the stock. Let's say Learn Africa. We take Learn Africa, and when it opens up, what we want to click on is this here where it says compare. You click on it, and once it opens up, you select the other stock you would like to compare it with. So I would like to compare Learn Africa to something very random. Let's use FCMB. Seems random enough. So why I like Cowrywise comparison page is it doesn't just show you your normal overview that you usually get. It shows you a lot of stuff. It shows you dividend yield, also shows you the price performance, income statement, balance sheet. There's one more, cash flow, some part of the cash flow statement as well. Which of these two companies has more free cash flow? Learn Africa is on this side, by the way, on the left, and FCMB is on the right. So as you can see, if we really narrow it down, you see that the PE ratio for Learn Africa is around 11. For FCMB is around 3.21. The earnings per share 3.36. You can see all of these things here, the sector as well. And when you come to balance sheet, you can see that FCMB has more asset, but also more liabilities as well. And then income statement, you can see the revenue, gross profit, and EBITDA. Well, on the high side for on the positive side for Learn Africa. And then if you scroll down, you see some of these things also sway to the right for FCMB. So you can compare these two stocks and then decide, okay, maybe I should buy this one instead of the other. And that is really why we do it. We do it because we're comparing two different companies to decide which one to invest in or which one to go with, especially when you have two companies that are very similar in a sense, like your GT and Zenith. You have to eventually pick one and go with it eventually. Now, Another platform you can also use to compare Nigerian stocks is your Bamboo. When you're on Bamboo, let me put this here. This is a screenshot from Bamboo. When you're on Bamboo and you're on any stock, Nigerian stock, like Seplat, for example, you will see here where it says compare stocks. You see this? You click on compare stocks. Once you click on it, what it's going to bring up is a page like this one. So you can compare two different stocks. You can select another stock that you want to compare against Seplat, and then you see some information here. My problem with Bamboo's own is, and I'm not comparing, right? But it's not even wrong if I compare. I mean, that's really what this whole thing is about. We're comparing. It doesn't give you a lot of information, right? Bamboo doesn't give you a lot of information when you're comparing Nigerian stocks. Look at average volume and market cap, blank for both of these stocks. So you can also use Bamboo, but it's not as rich as Cowrywise. It's not as rich as, your Access Worth as well. Now, platform number 5 and the last one. Last one is your investing.com. You can also use investing.com to compare Nigerian stocks. How do you do that? Well, when you search for any stock on the investing.com homepage, what you want to do next is come to this little icon that says compare. It's kind of like similar to what you get with your trading view. So when you click on compare, it will ask you to add another company, and when you click on it, it just fetches it on the chart, and you see how the comparison, or what the comparison looks like. In a sense, it's not very rich. That is why at the end of the day, for the most part, I end up going all the way back to the first one, and that's also why it came first. Access Worth pulls data from NGX directly, and they do a very good job actually with comparing Nigerian stocks against each other. So that's all the update I have for you. If you're signing up on Access Worth or any of these platforms, don't forget to use my code. I'm going to leave my code on screen. It's Magnus for Access Worth. If you're signing up, you can sign up for free. And yeah, happy comparing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.